My father always told me that if in fact people just would be nice to one another, you wouldn't need lawyers. But guess what? You do.
Insurance companies don't have hearts, and they only respond to strength.
You are absolutely entitled to compensation for far more than just the things that show up on a ledger.
People don't always need an attorney. You should always talk to an attorney. We do free consultations. There's no reason not to give us a call.
If you've been in an accident, we know you have a ton on your plate.
The first question you're going to ask yourself, what the hell do I do?
You're probably worried about your own health, the health of your loved ones, and then financial implications start layering on top of that.
Well, how do I fix my car? Or how do I get a new car? My car's been totaled.
Maybe they can't go back to work. They can't do some of the things that they really love and enjoy.
There's a lot that can go wrong, even though it feels like the worst has already happened.
Here's a mistake I see a lot of people make. They decide to handle a claim on their own, and they negotiate with the insurance company. Maybe they assume that what they're entitled to are their medical bills. Or even worse, what they're entitled to is their out-of-pocket costs, like your co-pays on your health insurance. And they don't realize that in Arizona, they're entitled to a lot more.
There can be a lot of pitfalls from hiring an attorney who may not be up to snuff.
You see all the billboards, especially in Phoenix. What do those attorneys do? Well, a lot of them are high volume. They're interested in the volume of claims. They're not necessarily interested in taking special care of you or maximizing the value of your claim.
There's nothing worse than a person who hires a law firm and then never hears from them. To feel like you're alone out there and have questions that are going unanswered.
But at the end of the day, what you're looking at is how can I do the best for myself and my family following a very tough situation.
Sometimes insurance companies offer fair numbers and sometimes they don't. And when they don't, you need an attorney who's going to push back and say, no, we're gonna file a lawsuit.
They need somebody who can at least tell them to take a minute, take a breath. We can take it from there.
AWD LAW means Haspy, Watkins & Diesel Law Firm.
A mainstay in the Northern Arizona legal community.
My firm's been here for 50 years. I think we've learned something over the last 50 years. The most important thing a lawyer can do is listen.
Taking what seems like a very overwhelming situation, taking that burden off of their shoulders.
Give them that bit of peace of mind to focus on healing and family recovery.
Our secret weapon is our staff.
The front end of these cases are so important. We always take the calls immediately. It lets them know that they're not alone out there.
We really take a much more specialized approach to every case that we take.
We want to know everything that you're going through, emotionally, physically, mentally.
I want to hear about your life. I want to hear if you have kids, what your hobbies are, what you're going to be doing for the weekend.
And that's what really builds up the case for us.
You're entitled to compensation for your pain and suffering that you've endured, for your loss of enjoyment of life. Well, the good news is if you call AWD, you don't have to pay a dime up front. The way we're compensated is a percentage of the proceeds.
We pay for the expense of litigating the case. You do not have to pay for the deposition fees, filing fees, expert fees.
We're not just here to maximize your case value, we're here to help you become whole again as much as possible.
We are telling the story of this injured person or this family, why they should, give this family some justice.
Like you always want a surgeon that's done 1,000 surgeries. You want a lawyer that's done 1,000 cases. Call us at 928-774-1478, the same number we've had for over 50 years.